My hat. Wait, here I am. I'm too small. What's going on, man? Let's make this right. There you go. What's happening?
What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Another Monday evening, man. So, how's everything been on the weekend, man? Everything's cool? Ready?
Oh, look, man, another beautiful weekend. Weather's great. Stock's great.
All
Let's
right.
get
So you can
it.
hear me okay? Because I don't know. You sound kind of low, but I don't know. I might have to find you. It might not be
This
you. It
one's
might be the
that's
phone.
better. That's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, man. So we waiting for everybody to come in. I was going last week. Last Monday, me and the wife was hanging out with some friends from California. And so that was cool. I think it was last Monday. Yeah, my time is like one long continuum. You tired, man. One day bleeds into another, man. Which is which is
Look, my
uh,
dad be telling me that. My dad be telling me that same thing. Like being retired, the hardest thing is finding out what to do with your time.
oh, I know what to do at the time. It's just like you just got all the time to ruin and fill. So your day is like 24/7. Whatever you want to do. I just tell people don't wake me up in the morning. You know, I want to be able to roll out of bed. Well, so
Look.
you saw the so we waiting for some folks to come in, man, and so we can have a little audience, see what their heads are about. I know we hear the Target thing going around every so often, and I want to go through some of the numbers with folks, and you see the title, right? So we can get into that. But any other thoughts you have on what else is going on? Because we can always come back to this when some folks come in. We got time. We're gonna
Um,
fly through this.
oh, just real quick. Ice, man. Ice has been active. Ice has been very active. This big beautiful bill. It's
It's a lot of
I don't
stuff.
know, man. I'm sure that we're gonna come back to it at a later point. You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
mean,
But
with August 8th is, that's the 200th day, and but we could always make have a live on any of those issues. The big beautiful bill. There's some shit in there that's actually pretty good. You
yeah, I
know,
mean, look, it's all a perspective. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, depending on
yeah,
who you ask. You know
some
what I'm
of it we
saying?
could
So,
argue about. There's no doubt. I mean, it's supposed to be debate. That's what it's supposed to be, and whoever wins, the victors go to spoils. You
yeah,
know,
that's how it
So I
goes.
mean, for example, the Democrats take over Congress. If they take over the House, they're going to try to dismantle the bill. But since the bill's in law, in order for them to do that, they're going to need 2/3 votes to override the president's veto.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting.
So,
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting because they could end up doing more harm to themselves behind being
well,
petty. You know what I'm saying? Just
well,
trying to
they've
be
been
petty.
petty
You can
for a
end up doing
long
more harm.
time. They've been petty ever
Oh,
since the election. They've been petty. Well, because this boycott is tied to it because one of the executive actions was DEI, getting rid of it, and and being able to get rid of it from the standpoint when he wanted to get rid of it for the public companies, not for public companies, for the government, right? That's one thing. But when he reached into the private sector and also imposed his will on whether companies should have DEI programs, he used his leverage as if, if you want to still do business with the government, you got to get rid of your DEI program because private companies are in no way beholden to the president or to the executive branch to get rid of DEI. They've done it because I think they did the numbers and they said, well, these numbers are not really benefiting us the way everybody thinks it is. Right. But that's not even my problem with it. So, because we can get into that. My problem is the bigotry of low expectations. And we're going to get into that because this notion that Black people are going to go back into the sewers and the gutters because a company doesn't have DEI programs is just absolute fucking bullshit. And I have a lot of problem with that. Right. And so I want to talk about some of that today. This whole notion that we need to be the champions of DEI, thus making us the face of it. And even when it was at its full force, it's not clear to me that we were getting the most benefits out of it. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, so we got benefits of it at lower level jobs that were government jobs. White women got benefits from it by getting those CEO positions and those executive jobs. That's why they weren't hurt by some of these layoffs. You know, so we're gonna talk about some of that, and
Mm.
of course, I sent you what I was going to talk about.
Yep.
Now, let's kind of talk about, I mean, where's the audience at, man? Where's all our people, man? Where's all our people? I'm blaming it on BMU for not getting our thumbnail out earlier. I'm screaming on BMU. Get my thumbnails out so we can advertise the show. People show up. We're early, though, man. 7 o'clock is early for a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Still getting off.
The internet has been a little weird the last week.
Big time. So. We got thunderstorm going on out here. And so everything's tenuous at best. In New Jersey, man, the thunder, we're on a flash flood warning. And after the Texas thing, everybody's looking out the window. You know,
Texas got a lot of people shook right now.
Yeah, a lot of people shook, man. So this is the first time in a long time I got a flash flood warning on my phone. They just bogarted. They just, how they just bogart the phones. They just boom. All of a sudden, you got this big ass warning on there. I'm saying, shit, man. So anyway, knock on wood. The rain seemed to have subsided for the moment. But the thunderstorm, man, lightning was all over the place. So we can't. So anyway, man, one of the things I wanted to ask the audience when some people come is, who's really supporting the boycott? Do you know anybody supporting the boycott?
No.
I mean, well, when maybe it's not the right way to ask, because I don't know how often people go to Target.
I was about to say, Big Dog, the only time I've ever been in Target is when I left Walmart because some bullshit was happening in Walmart. That's the only time I've ever been in Target.
Right. I mean, I know I'm not a Target shopper. It's not because I'm some aloof guy. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I just never thought Target was the kind of store for me. So, I know my wife probably perused through there, but I don't think we're frequent. I know we're not frequent Target shoppers. But apparently there's enough black folks who like to go to Target. And so the question is, whoever comes into the chat, I want them to answer that, put a 1 in the chat, whether they support the boycott. And when I mean support the boycott, that you were actively shopping at Target and now you don't. Because I think that's critical. I mean, you can say you support the boycott, but if you haven't bought an item from Target for the last 6 years, I don't know what that really means anything. So
what do you really expect Target to be doing for black people? That's just weird.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about, first the origins of this boycott. Remember now in February, when he signed that executive order, getting rid of DEI, Target jumped on the bandwagon, okay? And that was February 1st, right? But, it was a white man from Minnesota who started the Target boycott. So here's a white man telling his, fellow darkies that, what, since DEI is going, you're going to be hurt by this thing. And I need you, get out there, son, and go boycott, go boycott Target, because I think that's a good thing for you to do, Mr. White Liberal. Telling her, and a whole bunch of us, just jumped out there and followed his lead. And that lasted all up until Jamal Bryant said, holy shit, we can't let the white boy get all the juice. We got to come up with our own thing about boycotting Target. So we got this 40-day fast thing coming up. Lent's coming up. So we're boycotting Target based on a religious principle of Lent, 40 days off. Now that was March 5th. Now I want to put numbers to that, right? Because in February, the boycott started in Minnesota by the white guy. I don't know his name, and I could have looked it up, but I feel better calling him the white guy, right? When he started it, the Target's share price was $137 a share. That's like February 1st, something like that. Okay. And so when Jamal Bryant and his crew jumped on it in March, And this is a good thing because you could always look at the historical numbers. So on March 5th, when Jamal Bryant said, let's go ahead and do this 40-day thing for Lent, the share price had reduced to $116. Okay. And I'm still looking at it and said, all right, so Bryant and his dudes were effective. And then the share price kept dropping, okay, to hit a low at $94 a share. Okay. And then the tariff weekend came, right? The tariff weekend was like the 5th, 6th, and the 7th, or the 6th, 7th, and the 8th of April. And so that bottomed out Target at $88, right? So on April 8th, Target hit a low of $88 a share. And so by all rights, you have to say that the combination of the boycott and a combination of the tariff scare actually worked, right? Target lost shares, and we're going to talk about how it hurt the black people in a second. But they lost shares and went down. And then in May, I just want to go through. So May 1st was the end of the first quarter for Target. The end of the first quarter. So they didn't say boycott specifically, but they admit their in-store sales dropped. But they had some digital sales that were better than expected. So they made $1.04 billion in income during the first quarter. They were profitable by $1.something billion in the first quarter of this year. So even though the boycott was effective, shareholders got nervous. The thing that Jamal Bryant and the rest of the boycotters didn't realize that there's a saturation point for boycotting. That all the people who are going to boycott are doing it now, and the company has found a new baseline. Right? The company is saying, okay, we know that this amount of people ain't going to shop here no more. However, we still have a base of $1 billion corporation of income and earnings. We could work with that. Okay. So so you see where I'm going with this a little bit?
I see where you're going with. I do see where you're going with this. And I see where I fucked up. I see where I fucked up.
Okay. Well, okay, so it was because right now, right? So right now, Target is selling at, they ended today at $104.59. So if you were a savvy investor, you would have bought your shares at $88, $90. And who gives a shit about the boycott?
Fucking share.
That's right. The $104 a share. And the company is still profitable. And so here's where I'm going, right? They're going to recover from this boycott no matter whether the blacks come back or not. Because obviously other people are still shopping at their store. You know, and it's going to recover. So here's my, I do it, you know, of course, you know, I have a video for this. But here's a conversation between DEI and merit. And this is one of my biggest issues. It is true that Target had a DEI program, okay? But it wasn't just specifically for blacks. But they also have a merit program. They're not putting your product on their shelves unless you meet a certain criteria. I think, period. I don't think they changed their criteria for any black businesses. What they did do was that out of 100 businesses, we only have shelf space for, let's just say 40 for the sake of conversation. Everybody's qualified enough, so I have to find the better of all equals. And maybe they said, okay, we're going to give some deference to a few of these black qualified businesses so we could have more black businesses within Target, provided they're all qualified to the minimum requirements. You know what I'm saying? So when the boycott happened, if your business was at the requirements on the margins, you got hurt more. Now, if you were like, what's the chick's name? Not Jackie Brown, but man, she has the big business that was in there. She retired her husband.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I forgot her name too.
Her business was got on the shelves regardless of DEI because it was a great business. It's still a great business. I think she's still in Target. But the point is that there's a balance between how much DEI gave deference to those businesses as opposed to their merit. They had to have the merit first, regardless, right? So when Jamal Bryant and the race grifters took the blacks out of Target, they hurt that foot traffic hurt those black businesses the most, because even though they might have white customers and stuff like that, but some of those products might have been specific for skin tone, for darker people, that kind of shit. And so they hurt those black businesses. And so what Target did, so then Jamal Bryant, guess what? The freaking Congressional Black Caucus, they wanted to meet with Target. Jamal Bryant, Sharpton, and you know what Target said to them? They said, okay, we're going to extort them. They said, lick the dirty shit out of the crack of my ass. We're not bringing it back. We're not bringing it back. We're not turning. We know what the new baseline for our corporation is, so we're not going back to DEI. You know? So what's going on, Trey? You know, okay, here's Trey. Dude, look at Trey shit there.
Man, for real, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's what I realized where I fucked up. I spent so much time looking at Trump and Elon and the government that I completely forgot. Like, I completely forgot about Target. Just
hey, listen, man. It's always going to be new. I'm gonna tell people my horror story once. As soon as one of these days in the market, I have so many of them. I should be rich, man. I should be a rich man. You know, so now I'm gonna try to live long enough to become. But anyway, so just getting back on track. So here's what Target did. Target told those guys to go kick rocks. We're not going to bring back out. So before we go, one of the things I think Target realized is that their company is whatever bruises they took is recoverable, right? And not just because they lost the old fogey black people. They also know it's recoverable for some new black folks who don't give a shit about this. And I'm going to get into that first, but I wanted to hit this thing, and I'm going to let you, if you have any thoughts on this, I wanted to talk about the bigotry or low expectations. And this is the this is the trick bag that the Democrats have the black people in. They have such low expectations for us that they don't have anything to offer other than you need us because on your own, you're too dog shit stupid to make it. You need Section 8, you need welfare, you need us to have this program, you need us to have that program. And no matter how hard you work, no matter what your goals are, you ain't gonna make it unless you grab our hands and we'll pull you in. And we'll do that as long as you vote for us. It ain't never materialized shit that's for us at all, other than to tell us the white man is our enemy. A white man telling you that other white man is your enemy, and he's sitting on the Trojan horse, knocking on your door, say, "Let me in." And that's exactly
crazier. What's even crazier? The white man is your op, but I want you to pray to a white man too.
Everything, yes. That's right. And the bigger the statue, the better. The bigger the statue, the better. So anyway, I got this video when this guy's talking about, and he doesn't mention it, but it explains the bigotry of low expectations. And I want to display that. I don't know, Trey, you got the link down there if you want to pop up. But so it's a short video. I'm going to play 3 minutes of it, and just tell me what you think, and we'll just go from there. Because I think it's an important thing, and it jumps out at you about what these people think of us and the low expectations they have of us as black people. And the worst part is how many black folks, fall into that trap and believe it and say we can't get anywhere unless they're doing something for us. And that pisses me off. All right, so let's do this shit. Okay, this is it.
Welcome back to the show. And it seems like more and more every single day, more black people are opening their eyes and realizing that the Democrat Party is really no good. And they never have been good. I mean, since the very beginning, they've always been the people that have been against us, even still to this day. Now, they may put on a front and, try to, put lipstick on a pig, right? But more and more people are actually seeing the truth now. And it's a beautiful thing to see. With that being said, well, let's dive in.
Please help me understand Democrats, Black Democrats out there. I'm talking to you. See, many of you, perhaps even most of you, constantly like to talk about the racist history of America and how terrible that history was. It's a history that has a lasting impact, you say. It affects us even today. So rather than to embrace forgiveness, you all continually push to remind the world of America's racist history. That seems to be the logic. Never let whites off the hook. But then, how is it that you continue to vote for the Democratic Party, who by all historical accounts were the major purveyors of this history that you can't seem to forgive or get over? It was the Democrats who defended slavery, who formed the Ku Klux Klan and voted against any actions being brought against Klan-led violence. It was the Democrats who imposed segregation, who were against the Civil Rights Act, and it was the Democrats who were responsible for most of, if not all of the lynchings of blacks. Somehow you seem to have forgiven and forgotten when it comes to Democrats. Yet you still press the issue of America's racist past, all while having your eyes glaze right over when reminded of the Democrats and that dirty detail of the past. You say that the racism of today has gone underground, that it hides in the shadows. It's no longer out in the open. You just have to have faith that it's there. Okay. If that's the case, could it be that the same racism that you believe is hiding right within the party that you vote for every single election?
Bingo.
By definition, racism is one race thinking that it's superior to another.
Here we go. Listen.
Now, preferential treatment is given to those that white Democrats think of as being incapable of competing with them on a level playing field. So if white Democrats think that they have a superior ability over blacks when it comes to getting something as simple as an ID to vote, then that's racist by definition. If a white Democrat thinks that blacks need lower standards than whites to get into college or to get a job, then that's racist by definition. If a white Democrat thinks that they have to help you with every little thing that you do or any little misstep that you've had because they hold you to a lower standard and have lower expectations of you, then they do not think of you as being at the same level as they are. That is them thinking that they're superior to you, and that is the very definition of the word racism. So, to my Democrat Black Americans, please consider this. Consider that racist boogeyman that you say is lurking in the darkness, consider that you are the ones in the dark sleeping with that enemy. You've been in bed with this brand of racism for a long time. It's a brand of racism so far underground that it's used your own hypersensitivity towards racism against you. It's used that same hypersensitivity about racism to convince you that everyone else is racist but them, that they are to be trusted, forgiven, defended, and voted for. And meanwhile, those who want to treat you equally or simply by the content of your character instead of your skin color, that those are the racists. Thomas Sowell may have put it best when he said, when people get used to preferential treatment, equal treatment seems like discrimination.
Let me just stop that for that. I mean, I think that's a real poignant thing, man. You know, that last sentence there and this whole description of, the bigotry of low expectations, that last piece is absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And it permeates the black community like wildfire.
The Democrats have been offering you preferential treatment for over 4 decades in exchange for your votes. Since then, everything has gotten worse. Yet you still forgive and still forget. Perhaps it's time to walk away. Walk away from the party that's been working overtime to conceal its racist past and present. Walk away from those who do not consider you to be competent enough to compete with them. Perhaps it's time to consider another option. Perhaps it's time to consider culture.
All right. So, what y'all guys think about that?
That was so eloquently and beautifully stated. I wish I would have said it myself. God damn it. That's what I think about it.
I think he's on the money. But you know what? I've heard a lot of guys, shit, man. I've mumbled around that shit myself a little bit, man. I mean, it's not the first time I heard, but the eloquence does matter. It does matter.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all true. And let me tell you, it's nearly impossible to break people out of that psychosis unless they want to do it on their own. Because you can't even have a logical conversation with some of these people about what that guy just said without them tripping over every word. What say you, Trey? What's going on, man?
I mean, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say about that. I mean, there's nothing really to add to that. He said pretty much what needed to be said, but Black folk have known this. Black folk know that the Democratic Party is not for them. They know this. They know this. They just are choosing not to. Like I said, this last election was not about the actual election. This was about the ability to be able to unalive unborn children and a hatred for Donald Trump.
Right.
That's what this boiled down to. What it came down to. And so going forward, and I've said this a million times before, next year and the midterms will be extremely important. 2028 November will be extremely important because you're going to have a lot of liberals that are going to be out and marching and crying and whining and complaining about Trump did this and Trump did that, even though things are looking up. Market was up again today. Things are looking up. You know what I mean? And I don't get it. And what I realized is it's because our community, Black people, do not know how to pivot. When things happen, we don't know how to make a pivot. One thing I learned quickly when I was in the military is you better be ready to move.
Okay.
You stay standing still. Yeah, get off of that mark. Because you stay standing in one space, you're going to get clipped. You better be ready to pivot. When we don't have that in the community, I was ready when Biden got elected. I was prepared. I didn't like it, but I was prepared. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was ready to pivot. We don't have a pivot. That's why I laughed at this whole Target thing. I remember when the article came. I read the article in March. I remember when it came out. And thank you, Jamal Bryant. By the way, I owe you a huge thank you, Jamal Bryant, because I remember reading the article and going, "What makes you think that a boycott is going to work? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Not in today's age. It's not going to work. This is not Montgomery, Alabama, and this is not Rosa Parks. It's not going to work. For one, you can't get all Black people on one accord because a lot of us, especially this last election, has proven, especially the Black men, are starting to think about some things. They're starting to think independently. Like, hang on a second, that don't make sense to me. And we're never going to always fully agree with the things that Trump does. It's never going to happen. But I see a lot of Black men who are like, nah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that Democratic nonsense. They pulled the wool over our eyes for far too long. And I've still got female family members today who are hardcore Democrats. And what I realize is because you have a group of people within our own community that do not want rules. They want lawlessness. They want to be able to do whatever it is they do, and they want the government to pay for it.
Exactly.
That's what we all missing. They want the government to pay for it. And you have another subsect of us who are like, that is utterly ridiculous, and it harms everybody if we do it that way. So he said things well. He was very eloquent, and it's not really much to add to it.
Yeah, I tell you. So the truth of the matter is, that's one thing. So Target says to the grifters, hey, listen, we're not going back. And we understand that you're probably at the limit of your effectiveness with this so-called boycott. Matter of fact, you are, right? We're starting to see things come back. And so what we're going to do instead is that we're going to go ahead and not endorse, but sponsor the Essence Festival. Yeah, we're gonna, I will hit the clip on that one. And this lady tries to explain it away. I got two clips, they're really short. But so they had this long-standing thing with Essence Festival. But of course, Essence Festival is a mess because now Africans own the Essence Festival. And I can guarantee you that Africans not
They don't give a fuck.
they have not boycott Target. So here's the lady. Let me I gotta share this. So hold on for a second. Let me share this video real quick. This young chick, and she's trying to explain some things away, but she makes some fundamental errors in her explanation.
You don't want to support it, you don't have to support it. But I'm here trying to educate how brand partnerships work, the contract that they were already in, and we can just walk straight past it to continue to hold up our solidarity against Target. So Black people decided to boycott Target. Now they're at Essence Festival and people are in an uproar about it. It's almost bigger than the Montgomery, Alabama boycott because they rolled back DEI. The problem with them specifically rolling back DEI is that they have supported loudly Black brands, Black founders on their shelves. They went out of their way to do all this Black History Month stuff, et cetera, okay? This year, Homeboy got into office, they bent the knee, and then they kicked DEI to the curb. They were already in contract. Essence was already in.
All right, so she said this, and I want to make it clear. She first intimated that the only reason why Blacks got on Target shelves is because of DEI. That's the first error that she's making. It's the first big lie. And I don't even think she's lying. I think she just believed what somebody told her. Because she don't look
prior to that. Her comparing this to the Montgomery bus boycott is already some bullshit. This ain't that, shorty. Like this is apples and oranges. This ain't that. Don't
absolutely, absolutely. And so she's already on some bullshit, right? And it's lucky for us. This clip is only like a minute and 14 seconds long.
A contract with Target. I think it's like a 10-year contract or something like that. They've been a sponsor for years and years and years. They couldn't just end Target like that.
Listen, if they thought the boycott had merit, they would end their relationship just like that. The fact that they did.
I believe, and see, and the reason I also don't like this is because I believe in most of these contracts, there's a morality clause that's in there that does work on both sides. So Target, if at any point Essence did something that Target didn't like, they can pull their sponsorship. If the CEO of Essence was caught for stealing money or some crazy shit like that, Target could be like, you know what, morality clause, we don't want nothing to do with y'all. They can back out. Essence has the ability to do the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
Those are down. Traction is a little bit low. They're going to need that brand partnership money from Target to keep the P&L and the cash flow flowing so that we can get more people to Essence. We do know that the Black dollar has power and they've lost $12 billion from our boycott. So go us.
They lost $12 billion of market cap, which they're already getting back. All right. So let me just go ahead straight to the second clip and see how effective the fact that everybody's just walking past and all of that shit. So this is the second clip, and I have to share it. I'll share this with you for just bear with me. All right. So this Pink Book Lessons.
Black woman, also a Buy from a Black Business, the newly launched platform where we want to make sure people are supporting and buying from Black businesses.
And yes, they're telling you to buy from a Black business. But like I said before, a lot of the people running under these hashtags, gaining support off the struggle of Black Americans are not Black American-owned businesses. So that's definitely something you got to look out for. And while they're promoting this, they're also telling consumers to boycott Target. That's what they've been doing for months now. In fact, Tamika Mallory here came out with the announcement before Essence Fest. She said she would not support the festival this year because Essence was being supported by Target. So Tamika Mallory, Nina Turner, and Jamal Bryant, the false prophet, all came together and said they couldn't attend and affiliate with Essence because of their Target partnership. And they told everybody who was already going to Essence to go ahead and support all the Black businesses at Essence, but don't support Target. And let's just say nobody listened to Tamika and them because Black folks still lined up at Target Target had a DJ. You saw black people inside the Target booth dancing, grabbing all the free Target merchandise, and was walking out like they had the best time ever.
Black people supporting Target at Essence Festival.
Take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the
That's all I needed. That's all we needed to see. Any thoughts, y'all?
Let me show you how much I'm so tired.
Look here, bitch. I was born at night, but not last night. Can I get an AMAN?
That's funny. Go ahead.
Does anybody else feel that being black is exhausting?
Say that again.
Does anybody else feel like being black is exhausting? Like it's always some shit. Like it's just always some like because I want to know. Obviously, I think Target finished at about $104 today.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know how did this work? When was the last time Target was at $104? Last time the Target was at $104 was April 2nd of this year. So you do the math. This thing lasted about 3 months. About 90 days. They have already recouped. They've already recouped. They've already recouped the losses from April 2nd when they were. That's the last time they were at $104. So did they lose 12 billion? Well, because if you look at the stock, it was already headed downwards. It was already in a downward trend. But from 104, when's the last time? You know what I mean? When was the last time? So my question is you've done all of this. It's
saturated. It's over. The boycott. It's done. It's done. I mean, here's the thing though, because the weekend you're talking about, this is the weekend you're talking about is tariff weekend. If you look at every major indice on the 7th of April, they hit the 52-week low. Target hit its 52-week low on the 8th, and that was $88. So that from the 2nd to that 8th, it went down, and now if you bought at 89, if you bought at 89.90, you're feeling pretty good.
I bought at 94.
You're still feeling pretty good.
I bought at 94.
$20 a share just for waking up in the morning.
and 100 watts. This is how black folk can fix these issues. You have to learn how to play this game because it's really what it is. It's a game, right? And you have to understand that news, boycotts, all the stuff, it drives share prices. So if you understand that concept, you can go. And that's why I said Trump's first trip as president, he's making people millionaires because he'd come out one day and say something bad, then he'd come out the next day and say something completely 180 to what he said yesterday, and the market's just doing like this. Volatility makes people money. That's why I said I appreciate Jamal Bryant for adding the volatility to Target, because Target normally is a very steady sort of stock. Yeah. There's not a whole lot of volatility in it. So he added a bunch of volatility to an otherwise very quiet stock. You making people rich. Yeah, and the problem is it's not black people.
Right.
I have a quick question for y'all. Does the influx, the way that this has been moving up and down since Trump has been in office and everything like that, what effect does that have on the dividends that come to these? And I'm asking because I don't have the knowledge. I'm asking.
So the dividends is based on revenue, not the stock price. So if Target had a loss in revenue, the dividend may decrease. If that makes any sense. Not necessarily the stock price. The stock price doesn't directly correlate to the dividend. The dividend is based on essentially how much money did that company make in the last 3 months, and then after they paid everybody, what was left over. And so that's how they determine a dividend. So if Target was staying on pace, the dividend doesn't change. If the Target was doing better, the dividend would go up. You know what I mean? That's how it works.
And so May 1st was their first quarter earnings call, and since May, it's been up. Let's go and still continue to go up. But go ahead. You was going to say something, 100 Watt?
Oh no, I was just curious about the dividends. Like I be looking at my stuff, the stuff that I'm in. I got dividends coming not too. Oh, I had some dividends that hit, not too long ago. Just trying to understand this. I'm still brand new and fresh into all of this. I'm just.
Well, here's the thing with dividends also is that it takes a lot for them to decrease a dividend. It's gotta be a significant. I mean, I've been through some ups and downs in the markets. I mean, like for example, the bottoming of the market in April for the tariff scare, that didn't change any of my dividends. All my dividends paid out the same. And I'm gonna just add this one. Hey, I don't know if you trade USOI on the oil future, not futures, but the oil ETF. It's an ETN. I was talking to Trey. They're paying like $2.45 this month of dividends in USOI, and silver's paying $1.04. Over the course of the year, both of those ETNs pay out like $13 to $14 a share over the course of a year. They've been doing that shit consistently for the last few years. So I would check that out.
100 Watts. I'm going to give you a list you can check out. It's called the Dividend Aristocrats list. Okay, this is a list of companies that either have maintained their dividend or increased their dividend over the last 25 years. Target is on that list, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. Right? Target is on that list. So you can look that up. That's a little free game for a lot of y'all. It's just called the dividend.
You put that in the back chat, or you emailed it to him? I
just told him just right now. I told him right now.
I'm already Googling it right now.
Oh,
that's right now.
And so you can go down a list of companies and you can see, and what you'll notice on this list, 100 Watts, this is a bunch of stable companies. These are brand names that you know, names you heard. You probably got products in your house right now from them. And these are companies,
I have two of these already. Just looking at this list, I have two of these already.
Right. So that means if they're on that list, that means their dividend really hasn't changed over the last 20 years. It's only gone up. It has never gone down. This includes over COVID. This includes over all that stuff.
Dang.
Oh yeah, we in LA swimwear. Big bad.
Okay. So that's a little cheat code. That's what I use if I really want to. I mean, like I said, I can break this stuff down, and maybe one of these days I'm gonna have to do it. Break this one down. But that's a little free game of that's a list, and they do add to the list annually. They either take depends because it depends on the dividend, right? But I'm glad to hear that you're doing dividends, 100 Watts, because this is something that's untapped for whatever reason in our community. Like we don't want to get in this dividend game, and I'm like, it's free money. Like they're literally giving you money.
I'm at the point now where anything that I want to do when I go talk to other black people and they say that's some white people shit, that's exactly what I'm about to go do. Whenever I go talk to black people and they say that's white people shit, that's exactly what the fuck I'm about to go do. So when I started talking to people about Forex, oh, why the fuck would you do that? That's some white word bet. Cool, bet.
Look, that's how I got on the Warren Buffett and Peter Finch. I was watching something on a screen, and the guy was like, "Oh, what you paying attention to white boys for?" I'm like, this dude's got $84 billion. And like he got to know something. And then everything that they hate typically turns out well. I'm just gonna go. Listen, the beauty of YouTube, the beauty of social media. These fools have put all the game out there, bro. It is out there for you. They put the game out there. I was having a conversation earlier with somebody about an SB lock. They didn't know what an SB lock was. And I was like, this is how Elon bought Twitter. And people don't realize that. Like, he didn't go to a bank and say, hey, can I get a loan? He said, no, I got this much assets. Give me a loan based on the assets that I have. Give me $40 billion. And they said, okay, sure. As long as your stock, as long as Tesla stays doing well, we're good. And people don't understand there's so many other avenues. And this is why I'm like, listen, all of this news, Trump is the best thing that could have happened to you because you can make money. It's easy. If you just take a second and do it. Listen, all them guys out there that fake hate Trump, I guarantee you they be making moves in their portfolio. Guarantee they're making moves in their portfolio. You on mute, all right?
Especially the congressman. They all making money. They love Trump in secret. They go ahead. Oh, now you're on mute.
Did you see they did a chart? Did you see a chart? They did a chart of Nancy Pelosi versus the market.
Yeah,
bro, she's like 200% higher than everybody. Like it's here for you guys, and it's like I get it. Like, you know, he does some wacky shit and he says some crazy stuff at times. I get it.
Yes.
But is there an opportunity for you to get to come out better by 2028 than you went into 2024? Yes. Yes, you can absolutely be in a better position come 2028 than you were going into 2024. And I cannot definitively with confidence say that if we got a Democratic president that would be the same outcome. I can't say it definitively. But I knew the moment he got we were on stream that night, weren't we, RP?
Yeah.
And I was smiling from ear to ear because I already knew what time it was. I was like, this is gonna be beautiful.
And so far, hey man, listen, this has been the most dynamic presidency that I can remember in this short period of time. There's so much shit. Everything's energized. The whole freaking world's energized. You know, and you could put whatever definition you want to put around energized, but the whole world's energized because of what he's doing. You know, and that includes Africa.
He is the Jerry Jones of presidents.
I would agree with that. Absolutely. Because the Cowboys were a whole lot of money and they really trash, but we talking about it every day. Every day we talking about it. God, I hate Skip Bayless. I'm like, yo, Skip Bayless gonna talk about the Cowboys every day. Every day.
Yeah, he's crazy, man.
But I get it. I get it. And so to me, you wanted to boycott because there was something else Jamal Adams, he wants to boycott something else. I saw it. And the first thing I did is when I saw it, what was it? What company was it? I went immediately went to NASDAQ.
It's not Walmart?
No, it wasn't Walmart. I can't remember, but they were talking about, we need to boycott this company next because of their DEI. They were also pulling back on their DEI stuff. I have to look it up. But it was another company outside of Target.
You know, I mean, if the company is solid, man, they'll take a little hit and then they'll just recover. Because essentially, here's the thing, and you know, with all of this so-called buying power that we have, and all the black grifters that's out there, and all the million and billionaires that we have on the black side, how come we don't have like a black Target? How come we don't have the infrastructure or the lobbying power to get our shit into legislation? Right? Individually, we have some real rich black people, but collectively, we ain't shit. I mean, you know, when I say we ain't shit, we haven't taken advantage of the opportunity to leverage all of that so-called $1 trillion buying power we have. Right? Well,
that's because we spend $1 trillion with on other stuff. Yeah, on other people. We don't spend it and put it into our own educations and HBCUs. We don't do it that way. Like, for instance, I remember when my ex, because she went to HBCU. And I remember I was looking up colleges and their endowments.
Okay.
And I don't know, for whatever reason, I asked, I was like, do you ever send your school money? Like, do you, as an alumni? She was like, no. And so I started to dig deeper into this. Black people graduate from HBCUs and don't send us to school no money.
Well, it's the same thing. Reason why black people don't tip. It's the same shit, man. It's all the same shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a psychosis, man. We don't tip.
See, that should be supposed to be money, fam. That should be supposed to be money, fam. because it is something like maybe it is because I do work in the food industry. I just cannot go out and not tip because I know other niggas is not tipping. Like I'm at work all day watching y'all be a problem for my servers and not leave a tip. Like you are purposely giving my server a hard time for you to give, like to even be as petty as literally put a penny on the tip line. Like some of you niggas is just disrespectful.
Yeah, you know, listen.
Yeah, I listen. I think tipping is a sign of class, and I think something that our community is lacking a whole lot within the last decade is class. I think leaving a comfortable tip, whatever that might be, based on your budget, but a comfortable tip is a true sign of a classy gentleman, or
especially if you're going back, to that establishment.
Not only that, Arpain, this is also how you build a network.
Yeah.
I learned tip the guy at the door, the valet guy, tip him.
Yeah.
I don't have the best car. He took care of my car though. You know what I mean? He parked it up front with the Porsches and all the other stuff. I was like, all right, fine, I'll take it. Like we don't think like that, but other communities, they know this game.
They know this
game. I remember the movie Goodfellas.
Yes.
He comes through the back door and he's literally sliding 20s in everybody,
going in. Yeah. Take this, take that.
Like, because he's taking care of people. When you take care of people like that, they'll look out for you.
No doubt.
And this is a great tip. And Wonder Watch, you know this, because we were in the military. This is a great tip when you travel. When you travel, you take care of the people because they'll look out for you.
Yes. It's just true, man.
Motherfucker, if you know what that is, then you good, playboy.
I tell you,
and the thing about the buying power too, because in that video she said that Target lost 12 billion. I think that's the number she said, 12 billion. But you ain't heard of a single Target closing yet.
Well, that was in there. That was in their market cap from the stock going down, right? So it's like an unrealized loss, right? I mean,
to even be able to stand on. Be able to stand on something like that and reference it to the buying power of Black people for it to have no effect, you're kind of diminishing the point that you're making by saying some bullshit like that.
Right.
Absolutely want to watch, and you're also misleading them. You're misleading Black people to think you actually made a dent. When in actuality, when we look at the stats and the data, it's like, nah, they're good. They've already recovered losses from 3 months ago. They're already back to where they were 3 months ago.
And they're going to recover without you. And they're going to recover. Say it again.
I said, I bet you there are shareholders all over the place that strengthen their position with this bullshit. It didn't do anything but make them stronger in their position.
Well, obviously, if the stock is going back up, that just means that investors believe in it. So they started pouring the money back in, right? So when this first popped off, it was working. Investors was like, this is not a good look. Let's get out of this. But over time, I think, like with most things, people look at these things and go, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Let's put our money back in there. This is stupid. I put it in the chat because I want to talk about Dollar General was the next. They're talking about boycotting Dollar General. That's a rural thing. That more Dollar Generals in like the country's sides, you know what I mean? That's not a city type place, you know what I mean? Dollar Generals. And it's not going to work there either. No. It's not going to work there either. This was a poorly planned boycott. To me, this was all like an emotional reaction. That's how I look at it. It's an emotional reaction, and that stuff never lasts long. It never lasts long.
So we know that the Essence Festival, and there's a little side story to that, but we don't have to get down that thing. All right, so Target is still getting Black businesses to deal with them over and above the boycott. But here's one person that will even make a bigger impact. And hold on, I'm gonna share that with y'all. Hold on, let me share it.
Ooh.
Even a bigger impact, especially with young people. This crazy mug right here.
Everything is free. Chat, everything is free. Oh my God!
He's dead doing a sleepover at Target. He's got a new big deal with Target. Brand new. 13.5 million subscribers.
No,
Or
hold
just
on.
YouTube alone?
Nothing is free.
That's for the night it is.
So if I open this, I won't be. This not.
It's
still.
crazy.
No. We're gonna pay for. But we working out though.
But listen,
Put the Kit Kat down,
bro,
gang.
I'm asking you. I have ate all day. If I open this, is it stealing? Just let me know. Yes or no.
No, it's not.
I said that's crazy, man.
Oh my god! Oh, the beds, chat, the beds. Yo, chat. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Tone, chat, AMP, like, chat. We outdid ourselves, bro. Again. Yo, Duke. We done outdid
This
ourselves.
nigga making crazy money, yo.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Whatever you about to Swanton bomb on.
I love it.
I do too, man. I'm proud of him.
Pick up our pajamas soon. Oh, it's right here.
He's looking for the. I think this is some of his product.
Oh my god.
Yo! Oh my god! We got hella real estate.
Oh my gosh.
We got hella real estate.
I think it's Tone his company. I think so.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yes,
How are you mad at this? How are you mad at this?
Tone made it.
Yeah, look at his jersey, our pain. Look at Duke Dennis's jersey. So you got a Tone jersey.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
body wash.
Unbelievable.
Body wash out.
There you go.
The
Yes,
on the go
it's,
cologne. Boom.
this
the
guy
deodorant,
is a
boom.
marketing genius.
The lip balm.
Man.
Boom.
Wow.
Wow.
Y'all in Target, bro.
He done came a long way, boy.
Yo, you ever watch some old toilet paper fork videos in 2017? Yeah. I'm trying to do that.
Fucking crazy.
Damn, you got the best one. I got the best one, man. This is so the whole.
This is just so crazy.
Gang?
Can you imagine?
That cameraman getting a workout. I'll tell you that
Like,
much.
you look like he's a big one too. What the hell is he doing, man?
He is a kid, bro. Just a big old kid with money, bro. I love it.
I don't need help. Okay, hey, see me come in. All right, chat.
Where you want me to come?
Stop. I'm in 2017. Oh, they got bikes.
All right, man. You know what, man?
You know what? It was funny about this too, Harpain. They were saying that this, like this didn't help. Like, oh, they were trying to save their image, and I'm like, that's because you guys don't understand how this works. I guarantee this was in the works for a long time. They've been talking about this for a long time. This wasn't just sprung overnight. They've been trying to get that brand deal for a while, and I guarantee this helped because his reach, especially with Gen Z, is crazy. His reach with Gen Z is insane. I first learned about him because my son was watching him.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you some honest truth. My son was watching him. I saw the girl he was sitting next to, and I went, that's a prawn star. What are you watching, son?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, this is Kai Cenat. And I was like, I don't know who that is, but he was sitting next to Tiana Trump. He was sitting next to Tiana Trump. Yep.
Yeah.
What's my
He was sitting next to Tiana Trump, and I was like, "What are you doing, son?" And so he talking. He don't even care about Tiana. He's like, "Oh, this guy's he's a streamer. This is gonna be look at the house. He's breaking this whole thing down." So I'm like, "What in the world?" So to see him come from that to he's got these huge brand deals. He's got his own thing going on. It's so good to see, man. That's what I'm saying. Like this stuff is not gonna work.
Like his homies, his whole team, like all of his friends, they start like you can see them in their early streams in their small ass apartment bedroom. Like this man has built himself and brought his homies with him, and all of them are black. It's a whole group of black men that's making magic happen for themselves and their family. I saw a video of Phantom buying a car and a house for his mother and his father. Like, look at what these young niggas is doing, and y'all mad because they made a brand. Man, get the fuck out.
Damn, man.
100 watts. I was down at U Street and I saw that like this like wave of people. It was Duke Dennis. It was him. He was just walking down the street. All the office because the girls are going crazy, right?
Yes.
And all the girls are just going, and it's just swave of people, man. And it's like, and this dude Dennis is one of his boys. So it's just like, I don't understand what you're trying to do here. The younger generation, they want to live on a meritocracy. They want to be judged by what they do good and what they do well. They don't want to be given anything.
I'm willing to
remember now, Tyson out was smart enough to stay out of the political fray. Remember they were trying to get him to endorse. He said, I ain't doing none of that shit. You know, he said, I'm not doing any of that.
Michael Jordan. He pulled a Michael Jordan.
Yeah, even Republicans buy shoes
too.
You know what? Nobody can find that goddamn quote. I mean, it's just like listen, if you try to find it, you know, do use AI or anything. Everybody keeps saying, you know, everybody said it so much, it got to be true. The same quote where they say when they say Lyndon Baines Johnson says, when I sign this Civil Rights Act, I'm gonna have these niggers voting for me for the next 200 years. Nobody could find a quote. It could be true, but nobody could find a quote because I was looking through AI and everything. Everybody said, well, it could be, you know, here's a thing that might be close to it, and you know, but no definitive.
Say it.
Huh?
It came out to be true. And if he did say it, it came out to be true.
Absolutely. He might as well have said it, right? Yeah, he might as well have said it because it's true. You know, so take credit for it, man. You know, so
I'm willing to bet any money in the world that if that was Cassie rather than Consonant, Black women would have been lifting that shit to the world. Good job, Target. Y'all made up for the bullshit y'all did. Good for her. All of it. If it was a Black woman rather than it being Kai, Black women all over the world would have been fucking supporting that because that's a complete line. That's skincare, lip care, hair, all of that shit. Y'all, man, get the fuck out of here. That's some black man shit.
The honeys are gonna be buying it though.
That's the crazy part.
That's right. They're gonna.
That's the crazy part. Our pain. As much as we talk about our people not liking it, they're gonna go support them. You want to know why? Because many of them have Gen Z kids like we do.
Right.
And Gen Z kids are gonna say, "Dad, can you take me to the Target so I can go get some of the? Dad, can you take me this?" And here's another thing. Putting awareness to self-care for the younger generation. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Him encouraging the younger generations to take care of their skin and their health. There's nothing wrong with that. If he makes a buck off of it, okay, cool. You know what I mean? But I don't get what the point is because, like I said, Target promotes Black companies that are in there. I remember there was a lemonade that I wanted to get. I remember the Black girl, she was on Shark Tank.
Right.
I remember I wanted to go get the lemonade, and it was only in the Target at the time. I think she's sort of spread out now, but at the time it was only in the Target. And it was a little. She was like 9 years old, the cutest little thing, and she had made this special lemonade like flaxseed and some other type of stuff. And I wanted to go get it. It's only in the Target. So we're supposed to turn our backs on Black companies that have worked their behinds off to get in these shelves, to get in the space.
Yeah, so it's twofold, right? That's the one thing there, and this whole thing that you can't get on the space unless there's some DEI program. That shit infuriates me, right? I mean, because if you meet the numbers, and they're not going to pick everybody, but when you get picked, it's based on the merit and the hard work you put in, not because you're some DEI guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm agreeing with you. So if DEI is gone and he has an entire aisle, what caused that? Was it merit or was it him being Black? Was it him putting in the work to build his audience up to millions upon millions on each platform that he's on? Or was it the fact that he got long dreads? Was it the fact that this nigga has mastered marketing above anybody else in the game right now?
That's right, man.
It's between him and Asho Speed. At this point, it's him and Asho Speed are the best marketing people on the entire planet right now. So what are we blaming this on? They were trying to pacify us to get their money back. That's what that was. So he got that entire aisle because they were trying to pacify us. Really, if they were trying to pacify us, they would have picked a Black woman and not him.
Well, that wouldn't pacify us. They'll probably infuriate the guys, and it'll be fake. It's not them, okay? I want to know what the Congressional Black Caucus or Jamal Bryant and sharp and expected to get out of Target by trying to extort them to bring back a DEI program? To what end? Are they saying that? Do they have numbers saying DEI puts this much more black businesses in your corporation? I don't think they have that data. I'm just thinking if their data is without DEI, half the black businesses you have are gone, right? Is that a product of this stupid boycott, or is that a product of removing DEI, right? Because if they didn't boycott because Target got rid of DEI, the companies that were there wouldn't be hurt right now.
I also think that Target is playing the long game. If you appeal to Gen Z and Gen Alpha, who's going to be a customer longer? Right? So Gen Z and Gen Alpha is probably going to be a customer a whole lot longer than Boomers and Gen X and Millennials. So if Kai Cenat has got a handle on them, we're going to go with Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed. And iShowSpeed has worldwide reach because he's into soccer. He's overseas. I just saw a video of him hanging out of a window in some European country, and they were going nuts. They were going nuts in the street for him. And it reminded me, honestly, of a Michael Jackson situation. That's what it was like. It was like a Michael Jackson situation. People were just standing outside to hope to get to see him for like 15 seconds, and then he runs back inside.
See, that'd be my thing too. Sometimes it does piss me off when adults like forget shit. Like, fam, you was a kid too. You know what I'm saying? We were going to the store to go buy shit because Stone Cold Steve Austin was wearing this, or The Rock was doing it, or The Undertaker was. We used to follow wrestlers. Now they're following streamers or basketball players. How many times have you heard about kids standing outside of a hotel room waiting for a basketball player to come out so he could sign his fucking t-shirt? You niggas keep acting like the circle don't continue to rotate. It is the same circle, just the different. It's your kids instead of you because they're kids. And you are also influenced by the same shit too. So now grown adults are going to buy Gucci belts and Hermes shoes and all that shit because Quavo wearing it and Offset wearing it. You're doing the same shit. Like it irritates the fuck out of me when adults think they're not still doing kid shit. Like it is mind-boggling.
And smart companies like Target realize that this is cyclical. It's just a cycle. They realized it, and they're like, you know what? We're not going to feed into this. I truly believe that Target said, "Well, let's see how good your boycott is." I believe they called their bluff. That's what I think. I think they called their bluff.
The crazy part is anything that you look at that black people have boycotted came out okay. What was the kids as a monkey, the monkey shit that was going on back in the day that got boycotted? You remember the t-shirt? It had the black kids. It was a whole boycott going on based on like a monkey reference to black kids. It was like a children's clothing line or something like that.
I know what you're talking about.
Anything that black people have boycotted over the last, I don't know, 40 years, kind of just does okay. Like it makes it out on the other side. Okay.
I forgot. Let me ask you this: is our buying power talk? Is it BS or is it real? Because situations like this, it has me thinking like, maybe we got 1.4 trillion, but it don't have the same kind of weight we think 1.4 trillion has.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
1.4 trillion ain't shit, bro.
Well, if it's not focused, it ain't. If it's not directed, it's not. But I mean, when you put that up against some, that's like bigger than some gross products in some countries, right?
Yeah, like I mean, when you say black people spend 1.4 trillion dollars, like okay, like people need to eat. You got to pay bills. You still have to put gas in your car. Like there are things that are going to be bought, whether I'm buying it at a black grocery store or at Walmart. Like we're going to spend money. So to say that we have a spending power of this amount, okay, cool.
Yeah, right. Make some reference to it. Hunting Wisdom came up and say, "Hey, sister, what's going on?" All right, so we got a super chat. Let's go ahead and say, Curtis Moore, what's going on, Curtis? You said time to buy up some Target. What's that? Out of the money calls, OTM calls. Well, what do you think about that, Trey?
And I hit him in the chat. I said, buy him up. I believe he said they'll be at he thinks they'll be at 167 before Christmas comes. I think they're going to be around 150 around Christmas.
Your target?
By the time Christmas. Yeah. Around 150. I think they'll be around 150 come around Christmas.
Man.
And even if they're not at 150, if they get anywhere near in the 120s, I'm a happy man. So, you know what I mean? Like,
well, let's put it this way. So those calls right now are pretty cheap then. Right?
No, they're probably a little bit more expensive now because you're on a rise.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, when it was back in the 90s, it was probably really cheap.
Oh man!
But that's why he wants out of the money, so he's going to hold them. He buys them today. He'll hold them probably until next year. He's counting on it until next year. So that's how options work. You're buying to hit a target price. You don't have to have it.
Okay, so when he says out of the money,
yeah, but you're right. If it's out of the money, he has space to grow, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, that makes sense. All right, man. You know, it's the business of being. I just had a call from one of my cousins. She's 57. You know, and she just got a new job. You know, she's free now. She's talking about how she could better her retirement. You know, so she wants to open a Roth IRA. Right. So I got more family members now coming to me saying, well, what do I need to do? Right. Because they're like in the 48, 49, 50 age bracket. And they, besides their pension and Social Security, say, I need to do something. Well, I said, well, you got a Roth IRA? No. Okay. You got a 401k plan at work? Okay, cool. You got a Roth IRA, tax-free money. You got 15 years to grow it. You could probably easily have a grand or two if you invest properly in that in the next 15 years.
Yeah, look, it's extremely important for us to know how to invest your money. And I'm gonna use an example. There's a former Miami Dolphins player right now that is suing because the people who manage his money mismanaged about $2.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's important for you to know how to invest your money, and not necessarily because you want to make the moves, so you can double check with the people you're paying, what you're hiring, are they making the right moves, and make sure they're not stealing money from you. And like this, this football player, for instance, he's not the only one. We've heard this story a million times of rich athletes being swindled by financial planners and investments and yada yada yada. So you need to know how to do this. This is why I hark and scream at the top of my lungs that, if you are 18, 19 years old, and you're just coming into this workforce, you need to be learning dividends, and this needs to be number one, is you need to be building this. You're going to work for the next 30 years anyway.
Right.
So if you're going to work for the next 30 years, you might as well put yourself in a driver's seat and understand this. And that way you're not solely dependent on your 401k or your Roth IRA because you've been
Social Security,
or Social Security, which may not even be there for Gen Z or Gen Alpha. Might not even be a real thing for them. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. But we're so focused on DEI stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're so focused on. You know what I mean? It's all a distraction from what they really want to do, which is that money.
Yeah,
keeping our eyes off that money. I'm surprised, and I really do. I hope and pray that Kai Cenat and ISO Speed and all of those guys who are making all this money, that they got the right people around them, because it's just a matter of time before that system tries to come after them.
Right.
They're young. I heard a rumor that Kai Cenat wanted his own media company. We know how that sort of goes. Yeah, we know how that goes. They want to start to build their own media company. Bill Cosby was probably a victim of this.
Oh yes, when he wanted to buy CBS, they said, "Wait a minute,
hang on now."
Yeah,
because the reason why they don't, the powers that be, and I'm talking about the uber rich. I'm talking about the Rupert Murdochs of the world, the very rich. The reason why they don't like this is because you get to control the message.
That's right.
You get to control the narrative. So if Kai Cenat gets his own media company, he now gets to control the narrative. See, even with his streaming, he can only control the narrative to a certain degree because they have rules. Like YouTube, they have rules.
Right.
But if he gets his own media company, there are no more rules for him. Outside of the FCC, but there are no rules.
Yo, he's got big boy rules now. Not that some minimum wage guy on YouTube doesn't like what he said, so I'm gonna bring your channel down for 30 days. So okay, we got another super chat here by Curtis. It's so hard to get family members to invest. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I tried with my older siblings. They rather waste money, waste their free cash on traveling. And, I saved my breath. Listen, you know what? My brother, my niece, right? I have her set up, right? She just got a job as a nurse. And, she lives out with my brother out there. She's on her own now. I wish I would have caught her when she was still living at home, because I would have tried to convince her to stay her ass right in there until she got married or something, and just stacked her money and invested more. But she still has a fair amount of money to invest. So I got her into a couple of things. So we meet up every quarter. So I'm having more and more of my family members. The problem is that they're all ladies, man. All the dudes don't want to talk, man. It's just my daughters, my nieces and cousins, but all the guys, man, I don't know what the hell they're doing, man. I'm trying to browbeat them assholes into doing something. But you can't really pull people to invest. They got to be willing to do it.
Well, I told my son this. The issue with investing is that investing is an old man game. And what I mean by that is that.
Hey, thank you, Curtis. I'm gonna give him something in a second. Go ahead.
What I mean by that is that you're supposed to start young, and then it grows with you as you get old. So it's an old man game. There are a lot of people that get into investing and they think flip. They think I'm going to put 5,000 in and I'm going to get 50,000 out. Yeah. And listen, yes, in the options market, and maybe if you caught Bitcoin at the right time, and I've seen some guys in Forex that have been able to do it, but that's not the norm. That's not the norm. And in the investing game, the best thing for you to do is to get in earlier. The earlier, the better, which is why I keep screaming. Get your kid a custodial account. Start investing their birthday money and their summer money and all that. Start to get them on this path early, so that by the time they're my age at 40, right, the money's paying. It's paying for you. Yeah. The money makes more than you could ever make. They were 2 years. My last 2 years on the police department, I actually made more money outside of being a police officer than I did being an officer.
Wow, that's good, man.
Because of dividends and the options and all that. You know what I mean? Like I would be sitting in the cruiser. True story. I'd be sitting in the cruiser. working my options off the little laptop in the cruiser. Yeah. Working my options. I got in trouble for it. They're like, yo, you can't do that, because they track everything you do. And they pulled my car and they were like, yo, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, you guys don't want me to make no money in here because you know what's coming next. It's gonna be me leaving.
You got to use your own shit. Okay, so it says Curtis put a little super chat out there. We got to give him this one here.
My name is Rosa. They say I'm supposed to sit in the back, but I'm tired here, so I'm finna sit right closer. Yeah. Come get me up then. It's gonna take about 3, 4, 5 men. And I ain't finna repeat myself again. Fight me. Somebody get her. My name is Eve. Yeah. I didn't believe. Yeah. I trusted Satan, ate that apple, he deceived. Yeah. And yeah, I'm naked. I thought I was awakened. I'm the first to do it. Y'all my daughters, we related. Yeah. Trick on Big Harry. Yeah. Don't call me slave hoe. The hell? From the underground, dirt road, bust down mouth of dope. When I say run, you better go in the door.
Chicks, man. You know what, man?
I was watching a Ramsey video, just in regards to what Curtis said. I was watching a Ramsey video one time, and he was talking to I think he was like 17 or something like that. And the boy had started he was basically like spray painting the numbers on the curbs in his neighborhood and shit. And he was trying to get his family to help invest. And Ramsey told him, he said, all right, this is what I'm gonna tell you to do. He said, start an Instagram and a Facebook for your company. Block everybody in your family and start marketing to everybody in your area. And then the boy was like, damn, why would I do that? Because if you've already went to your family and they don't have interest in helping you, they clearly don't want to help you. So now you just need to start talking to everybody else. And he was like, once you can let go of that feeling that your family isn't help, like once you can let go of that, I'm telling you, you'd be able to hit the moon, dog. And then it was like a compilation. It was like a year later, the boy called back and he was like, man, I just graduated high school. I saved up like 30 grand. I'm about to go to college with money in my savings account. And he was like, I've been listening to your show. I've already invested in this, that, and the other. He got a scholarship, so his debt's about to be super low in terms of student loans. Like just shit like that. Like, man, look, man, if they not fucking with you, it's plenty of other people that will.
So 100 Watts, to your point, I read a book by Damon John. It's the guy who started FUBU, helped start FUBU.
Yeah.
And he was talking about majority of your success is going to come from people you don't know. And it's one of the things that we don't tell young entrepreneurs, we don't tell young businessmen when they're starting. Screw your family, screw your friends.
That's right.
Don't worry about them. They'll get on when you're on. When you're on, they'll be happy to say, that's my cousin, that's my son, that's my grandson. They'll be happy to get on. Don't worry
they'll
about
be saying, how come you didn't tell me about this? And tell me,
Exactly.
what you got to tell you about it?
Yep, go to the people you don't know, because those people are far more willing to support you, especially if you have a good product. If you have a good product, man, it'll be people you don't know, and then you get more business from people you don't know versus your family. I don't tell my family none of my moves. I don't tell them nothing.
Because you gotta guard some of your plans from people. You know, I hear what you, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you got to guard some of your plans from people. I got a few short videos, a clip of a lady she's talking about Target, but she's talking about how come you don't do this shit on your own. You know, that's what she's talking about. I don't know if you ever seen Flabby.
People need their own shit. This is why all those leaders that came together, Jamal Bryant, Al Sharpton, all the resources and all the big platforms that they have, they could not put their heads together and create something of their own. No, we're going to beg Target. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think it's cool to be second best. I don't think it's cool to beg. I don't like it at all. And it makes me wonder, what is this really all about? Because I thought the boycott was to, say a F you to Target, but you got the boycott, but then behind the scenes, you still trying to work something out with them so you can get the products back on the shelf. I'm really confused. Walk the fuck to say.
She's getting ready to go off. That's the first clip. I would just play all three of her clips in succession. There's a little overlap, but it's just 1 minute long.
Kai, his background, his earlier background. Check this out. Kai attended Frederick Douglass Academy. That's in Harlem. So like those comments and stuff that he made, it's not like he had not been around like Black Americans. That's in Harlem.
Mm-hmm. I know people from Frederick Douglass.
Nina Turner went on to say, Target will do everything but the right thing. They act like we don't have more escalatory tactics to pressure them. Keep playing games, Target. Again, with the pressure. Why at this point, and she's talking about the Kai Cenat deal, why at this point are you still trying to pressure somebody who don't want to dance with you?
All right, so that was the second one. And the third one, I'm going to go ahead and just because there's a little overlap, like I said, but I just wanted to get them off in short clips. And this is the last one. It's a little overlap. Oops, sorry. What the hell am I doing?
Went on to say, Target will do everything but the right thing. They act like we don't have more escalatory tactics to pressure them. Keep playing games, Target. Again, with the pressure. Why at this point, and she's talking about the Kai Cenat deal, why at this point are you still trying to pressure somebody who don't want to dance with you? Target is playing in your faces and you still want to try to make something work with them. I just don't understand this. It's like the people who still want to try to make something work with the Democratic Party. I said it was an abusive relationship. Apparently people like abusive. I don't get this. I don't get it. Is there something else going on here that I don't know about? Is there something else going on behind the scenes that I just don't know about? Why are they pushing this so damn hard? Turner went on to.
That's like girl Sabby Sabs, man. You know?
Yeah, I truly believe that Target really called their bluff.
Yeah.
Like, I really truly believe they sat back and said, well, let's see what you got. You're gonna tell your people to boycott us? Okay, go for it. And we'll see how it works out. I don't, and I agree with her on this. What was the end game? Because to me, is this some sort of superiority play? Like, is there something that you wanted to get from Target, or is it you just wanted them to maintain their DEI policies in the face of a president who is very clear that he ain't with this, and he will do everything he can federally to put you in harm's way if you don't get with the program?
Right, exactly. They're trying to extort these guys to do what they say, and now they know what the baseline is, right? I mean, they know what they know what it is. The boycott is exhausted, right? Because there's no more new blacks that's going to boycott this thing, right? The people who are going to boycott are doing it, and they're probably becoming wary because now they got to travel a few other miles to get the shit they used to get for cheaper.
RP, my question is, did you think that you had more power than the federal government?
I would really love to see what the next move would be. I would have to see, like, please show me, please. You ever hear somebody do a whole bunch of, man, I'll beat your ass. I'll beat your ass. At some point, you gotta stand still and say, then do it, motherfucker.
Then do it.
Then do it.
Then do it.
Show me.
But think about go ahead. Talk about Dollar General, right? Dollar General is like one of those stores that black people would go to for cheaper items too, right? So you want to take away Target and you want to take away Dollar General. So where you going to tell all these black people to shop? They're going to start shopping at places more expensive because you got the stupid boycott?
See that, RP, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is the goal here? Because it's one thing if you say, listen, we don't want y'all to shop at Target anymore. We want you to go shop here because it's black owned. That I could understand. Okay, fine. That at least makes sense. But you're saying, no, we want you to stop doing this, and we don't want you to listen to Trump. We want you to defy him and defy his administration and defy the government and deal with whatever fines, penalties, whatever he decides to come up with, because he got the Supreme Court and he got Congress and he got the Senate. Like what was the plan here?
It's just crazy, man. So we know now
that's they're about to get rid of 1,400 people in the Department of Education. Supreme Court said it was cool today.
That's
Supreme Court just said it's cool.
Oh, that's another one. 100 Watt. Put that on the list.
Yeah, it's like what part? Like my thing is what was the plan? I'm talking about, well, we can put more pressure on them. You can't put more pressure on them than the federal government can do right now.
You just mentioned something, Trey, that's good too, right? Because I was at dinner with my friends from California, right? And they live in the San Francisco area. And we spent like 2 nights together, right? When I say two dinners, there's some great restaurants with it. And I tried my best to stay away from any political conversation at all. And we were doing good. I mean, we were really doing good. I swear. And then the second night, me and my wife, my frat brother and his wife, we hanging out, man. They're a little older. People from California are lost. They're absolutely lost. In the fog, man. So I said, well, they got, what y'all think about the immigration? Man? Got like, somewhere from 15 to 20 million over the last 4 years. There wasn't no million. There wasn't even more than 1 million people came over. So what I said, what? I looked at him, I said, did y'all AI this? Did y'all Google that or whatever? What did you? Well, that was a lie. It's not. And so I started to immediately start to tone down the conversation so we could keep it lighter. A little glass of wine. I said, man,
that's a smart man.
Look, trust me, I know exactly what you're dealing with because my sister lives in LA.
Oh my God.
And she's been there for at least a decade, and she is a raging liberal at this point. Okay. And obviously I'm on the other end of the spectrum, and we just don't talk. There's no point. Right. There's no point. And she believes that nobody should be not allowed to go. Like, she believes that you should just be able to go wherever you want to go.
Right.
Like you should just be able to go. Like, no, there's no such thing as.
Let's open the borders, defund the police. Let's lower the military funding.
Well, Karen Bass said she's going to hand out money to illegal aliens just now.
Yes, she did. And our pain, I called my sister and said, Karen Bass, I won't give you no money because my sister runs a nonprofit.
What she said?
And I can't talk right now. I know you can. I said, Karen Bass giving all of immigrants money right now, but you have a nonprofit that's been begging for grants for years to open up dance camps for the youth in LA, in the LA area. It's free dance camps, so they have somewhere to go, so they ain't out on the streets, and they won't give you a dime. She giving these immigrants money. Talk about it.
Well, how can taxpayers, I don't give a shit where you live, can get spit in your face like that from this lady is an absolute monster, man. And she's like 3'6", and she's just, man. I said, how could she actually, in the face of all of this, just do that? And my man Trey just bounced out. Maybe he got cut off. But anyway, it's so all this stuff is connected, right? So the Target stuff and the boycott is connected to Trump's executive orders. Like I said, everything that's going on, he has some kind of fingerprint in it. It's just everything's energized. Even the way we shop is energized. And this whole notion that you can't eat anything because it's so expensive. Well, it depends on what you buy. Because I make Sunday dinners every so often for the family, and I just made a full meal out of beef livers, man. Smoked them, seasoned them, had them all, put them into one pot with, onions and green peppers and spinach and corn with a little bit of honey, and it cost me $39 to make. And that goes for 3 meals. And the key with liver is you can't overcook it. Don't overcook it. And I had the smoke flavor going, man. I said, I never had tasted liver taste so good in my life. I wanted to try it because they say it's one of the best organ meats that you probably have if you eat meat. Some people don't eat meat at all, but
that's the thing. Most people would rather spend $40 per person at Roof Chris,
right?
Or at Applebee's.
You wish you could get an Applebee's there. It's $40 at Applebee's. Roof Chris is more like
it's $40 for macaroni. We'll pay $40 for macaroni, motherfucker.
Yeah, man. So I don't know, man. It's just I think we can. I think so any other thoughts on this whole Target? But I think the boycott has run its course, even though we're going to keep hearing about it. I don't think there's any more moves for the Jamal Bryants other than to keep yapping from the pulpit and tell Cam Newton how pretty his legs are. Shit like that.
That's funny.
Yeah, did you say that?
That was lanolated. That was the first time I ever heard the word lanolated.
Oh my God! I thought did he make it up? Because is that a real word?
I never even looked it up. Let me Google it.
I don't think you should waste your time. I think he misspoke. Maybe he did. Yeah, he is a pastor. He could be making shit up as he goes.
Lanolated means containing or treated with lanolin, a substance.
He said some of the gayest shit you could possibly hear in a big way.
Yeah, he just used okay. Oh yeah, creams, lotions, ointments. All right, well, sure, but you just used a big ass word to say he got lotion on his legs.
Yeah, but my whole thing is, man, I don't want no damn man coming around me saying your legs are nice and lanolated, man. That shit's just say, come on, man.
They lanolated.
Jesus Christ. So it is a real. So anyway, man, but they could go to John General. We could see how that works.
I don't know. And again, that's another example of it's not going to work. I don't know why black people think they the only broke people shopping at these broke ass stores.
Right.
I see.
And then where you gonna send them?
Still go to Dollar General, and I see plenty of white people in Dollar General because they just as broke as us.
Oh yeah, but that's what these the white people ain't listening to the stupid boycott. You know, they're not doing that. Well, it's it's not it's not my fight. And it's not really not black people's fight because we got to stop acting like the only way we could succeed is if we're getting something for free. That's crazy. It's time to end that.
My other problem with it too is where I agree with the clip that you were playing was, okay, cool. If you don't want me to shop at Target, where am I shopping? Y'all sitting down having this powwow telling everybody we need to stop going over there. Why are y'all not having the same conversation about how we can get another store that we can go to?
Right.
Y'all doing so much fighting to get other people to do what you want them to do rather than fighting to get your shit to work.
Exactly. Where's the store?
Irritating.
Where's the store where I can get a quality product and the quantities that I want on a timely fashion, like I could get right from Target? That the store doesn't exist. Right? They say, well, the black folks who have their stuff on the shelves, you could buy some of their stuff online. Now, a lot of those people are not set up for online shop.
Which is again another reason why that DEI is some bullshit, because y'all got too comfortable with sitting at Target that you didn't even put your website together properly. You didn't even put your systems in place for you to be able to take online. You know what I'm saying? Like you were just so dependent on that one basket getting you everything you needed.
Well, but the point is, if it was sufficient, right? Well, Target has a big reach right now. I'm not saying they don't, but a lot of I think businesses graduate from being online to trying to get on the shelves, right? Because that's where they get the most volume of walk-through traffic, and they don't have to do a lot of the logistics of packing and all that kind of shit, right? So I would imagine each one of those businesses have online presence, but that changes some of their business model. And I don't think black people are really flocking to those websites. That's the point. I don't think they're flocking to those websites to do it now, because you're going to have to advertise your website. It's going to have to be, positive. People are going to have to actually click on buy.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So that's how it works. If any business in the world, if you are only dependent upon the money you make from what goes off of the shelf, you are leaving money on the table. I don't care what business you're in. If you are not set up for online systems, you're leaving money on the table. So the same way that you were talking about, like the same way Trey was talking about, being on YouTube and YouTube having rules and you have to talk a particular way.
Right.
When you're in Target, your product has to be a particular way. It has to look a particular way. There's a particular thing. But if you're operating online, you have a little bit more freedom.
Well,
you have a little bit
I agree with you. Now it's just driving people to your line. Now I don't know if Jamal and those guys are driving the people to these websites for these black-owned businesses. I haven't seen him from his bully pulpit or have one of his ushers say, "Here's a list of black-owned businesses in Target that we want you to support. Here's a handout sheet. Here's a website you can go to see all the links that you need to get your product." Right?
See, you know what you said that? Hey, for everybody that's standing up saying Target lost $12 billion, I need you to show me how much money black businesses made during this time. So you're gonna tell me how much they lost. Show me how much other ones made during this time to prove your point. If you want to solidify that we have buying power, show me how we moved that $12 billion from Target to something else. If I can see that, then I'll believe in the buying power again. But until then, it's just a bunch of fucking talking.
Yeah. Oh man, so anyway, any last words, man? I thought this was, I expected this to kind of branch off into these kind of conversations about it's not just retail, but the way Black buying power, the predicament that we're in, and the fact that we continually align ourselves with these buzzwords like DEI, and I think it's a mistake. I think it needs to stop. And I think merit is what we have to shoot for. Some people are going to make it, and some people are going to fail. I mean, that's just the way life is. We got, and that's the thing we have to come to grips with. There's no what you call it participation trophies, right? You're going to have to, make your way in this world, and there ain't going to be some zaddy at the end of the line always giving you a handout. So we got to wean people off the pickle. Now, the only thing I'm saying is I'm not so sure how long the Republicans are going to hold all the wheels of power, because they're doing some missteps too, and people are fickle. And I hate to see us go back to the shit that the Bidens were doing. Thousands and thousands of people at the border, because that's going to happen again. So the country will, I don't think we will recover from going back there. That's why the midterms are going to be important, but 2028 is going to be very important as well. Anyway, so go ahead, Ben. Last words, man. Got some last words? You got some thoughts about next week? What you want to do? Go ahead. Tell me what you got on your mind.
I can definitely email you what I'm thinking, because I got a couple of. It's a couple of routes we can go. So I'll send you the list of the couple ideas I got. See which direction you want to go.
All right. Well, let's do it, man. We can talk about it. And what I like to do is just try to get it to BMU by Friday. Let's get back to that, but not for you, just you, me too. But then we have to get on his ass and give us like all of those damn thumbnails that he has for my man, the gray area. He got like 800 thumbnails up. Just so we want our thumbnails up, man, at least a day in advance, So anyway, I'm going to tease him. I don't know where the hell he's at. He's going to pop up somewhere and just run up.
Black man for having us up again. Shout out to another week of Black Men Unfiltered and letting us get it off.
Yeah, man, it's cool, man. I like the opportunity to go ahead and do it, man, while I'm trying to do my stuff. There's a new brother out, though, man. Everybody's talking about him. What's that? The Brother Podcast. I forgot.
Ask a Brother Podcast.
Yeah. Have you seen some of his stuff?
Yeah. I was watching something before we got him and Crimson
Cure. Yeah, I got to go back to it. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, he's cool. There's a few other people. One of the things I wanted to do was that meet Common JC, this sister, and she goes at it hard. But yeah, tell me what you got, man, so we can put together, and we'll let you go ahead and I won't try to just put anything out there. So let me know, man. Whatever you pick up, man, we could talk about it, man. That's the bottom line. But that Ask a Brother podcast, that brother's smooth, man. He's smooth. So, but I got to go back and watch his thing with the white girls, right? Because Crimson Cure was doing it. So you got to go back and do that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I started watching that one, got a little bored, and fell asleep on it.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I mean,
Curtis, I did see him on. I only saw one clip. I only saw one clip of him on Lapeef, and he did do that well. Because you know how Lapeef go. Whenever you start talking to the women, they start going.
Yeah, buddy.
He did that. He did that pretty well. So
yeah, so he's hitting hard, man. They say his channel's gonna blow up, man. So that's the bottom line. So anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead and do what I do. I ain't got nothing real. I think in May. I think it was May. A few of my nieces graduated from nursing school and high school and college and other college, and we went out to dinner. Me, my brother, and my daughters were there. They're both in their professions, and me and my AI music band. I had something I wrote. I put together, kind of manipulated the words for them, and it says congratulations to them that it's their time. And so I was going to just play that as my parting shot here, just to mix it up. So I'm gonna play that real quick, and we can see how that goes. Right. And then we can say good night, man. It's not that long. It's like 3 minutes. All right. So I got to share it. my daughters, my nieces, and here it goes.
You've climbed the mountains, reached the skies. Every step you took, we see the prize. With courage in your heart, you break the mold. Future leaders shining bright and bold. So take this moment, let it resonate. Your dreams ignited, don't hesitate. Congratulations, this is your time. In every heartbeat, let passion ride. You're destined for greatness, let it show. Fruitful and multiplying, watch it grow. Watch it glow. With every challenge faced, you've grown so wise, transforming every setback into rise. Your voices unite, a powerful call to lead with love and uplift us all. Your seeds of change in fertile ground. Together you'll rise, your strength profound. Congratulations, this is your time. In every heartbeat, let passion rise. You're destined for greatness, let it show. Fruitful and multiplying, watch it go. No longer waiting, hear the cheer. No need to shine, your future's near. Watch it grow. The world is waiting,